Dear friends, we are at session 5, day 3, and today we are going to reflect on the beautiful lesson of the prophet Elijah. You remember the story that many people were going to different gods because the queen Jezebel brought the Canaanite gods into the people of Israel. And many were lost. They were following different gods. So one day he challenged the prophets of Baal, which was the other god, and he says, if you build your altar, I build mine. You call on your God to bring down the fire for the sacrifice, and I will call my God. And so the whole day, the whole morning, those prophets were jumping and crying and praying, but nothing happens. Then Elijah called upon God, and the fire came down and burned the sacrifice. The deal was that if he was going to win, all the other prophets were going to be killed. 450 of them, they were killed because they were not able to get the miracle to prove their religion true. So then, naturally, the queen wanted to kill Elijah because he had killed all her prophets. And he ran away to Mount Abram, which means the Mount of God. And so it is Mount Carmel today. Then when he was there, he says he heard an earthquake, but God was not there. Then he heard the thunder, but God was not there. And then he says he heard a gentle breeze, and God was there. So this gentle breeze is the symbol, the example of contemplation. It means that it has to be very, very quiet, very silent, very peaceful, because God comes with a gentle breeze. And that for us is a clear example that God comes not with power, not with thunder and earthquakes, but comes in the peace of heart, in the soul. When our soul is totally at peace, then we can hear the gentle breeze of God. There is an example, beautiful example here from Saint Teresa of Avila, which I invite you to read on page 80 of the book, in which she is trying to explain what contemplation is for her sisters. And she says that one thing, that God is suspending the faculties which, if they were to work, would be causing her harm rather than profit. Certain point, God takes our mind and our heart, and we almost kind of forget everything. And here, the saints, for instance, they have the so-called ecstasies. But that's not really. Contemplation is when you feel almost out of yourself. You feel out of the time. You feel that you were in another place, because that feeling is indescribable. But that's when God takes you out of your own faculties. So you don't use your mind, your heart, your sight, your ear, nothing. God takes you out with him. It's almost like taking the baby into mother's arms and somehow sleep and get out for a while and be with God. So I can only wish that you will be able to experience this, because that's only by experience that we can really share the contemplation. So why not try it, okay? So try to see if you can find a peace. First of all, a place alone, a little peace of mind, get rid of all the anxieties, all the preoccupations. Take a psalm or two, and then remain in the presence of God. Just you and him. That's it. And then God will grant you this beautiful grace to feel deeply his presence, which is always a presence of love. Bye-bye.